Hey Taurus, welcome to Black Star Tarot. This is your monthly money reading. So let's see what we have for you guys. All right, we're gonna use the major arcanas because we want to know the strongest energies surrounding your money at this time. So Spirit for Taurus, come on Taurus. I need some good news for you, baby. All right, so count of three. 1, 2, and 3. So we have the Hangman. All right, fair enough. You holding on to your fortune right now, or some of you are waiting for that. All right, so you could be waiting to hear some news this month when it comes to your finances. All right, I get it. This news could be coming from a Pisces if they're trying to help you. I do see you guys going through some type of transition here or something. So maybe you're waiting for something. All right. Some of you could be letting go, whether letting go a little extra cash. Maybe you'll help somebody this month, or letting go of a job. You know, the Hangman can represent surrender or letting go of something here. Okay, so this could just be a thought this month. Maybe you're thinking about leaving a job. Maybe you're thinking about starting something new. All right, the thing is that you're thinking about it. All right, you haven't made any definitive action yet. You're kind of just hanging around, you know, trying to figure out, you know, which way you should go. And that's very grounded of you, okay, Taurus, because you know, and you're the 4th time I've said that too, of course. So you got Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and Capricorn, right? You guys represent, you know, wealth, okay? So a lot of you could be trying to hold on to your money right now. Of course, times are getting a little crazy, so I can see that if you're holding back on your spending. Okay, so that could be something you're doing. But if anybody knows how to handle wealth and money, it's going to be you, Taurus, because according to, you know, astrology, you're one of the 4 signs that does represent like money, you know, and wealth. Okay, so congrats. All right, so you know how to hold on to your money, and you could be doing that. Maybe you're waiting for something. Okay, all right, let's see what else we have. So it says, say yes to the things you think you can't do. Okay, so some of you could be hesitating, but let's get some more cards. So say yes to the things you think you can't do. So you could be waiting. Are you waiting? Maybe to start something? Is that what the wait is? Waiting to start? Spirit says say yes to the things you think you can do. Very nice. Reconsider a decision. Don't quit. All right, if there's something here, there it is. You know, look at Spirit telling the whole story. Oh, we got one hiding there. All right, let's make this pretty. All right. Okay. I like this. All right. I see. Now I see why the Hangman is here. All right. Do you want to read the cards? Because we see risk, okay? And that's the Fool. All right. So there's a new beginning here for you. Before we even go read the cards, right? There's a new beginning here for you. But it's your choice, okay? It's your choice. And I see the Hangman is what got you all, you know, in a... I ain't even gonna say in a tizzy, but just like, and I don't want to say stuck, but that's kind of how I feel. Some of you are stuck in the past. Maybe you made a decision in the past, you took a risk in the past, and maybe it didn't work out, okay? But that doesn't mean that if you try it again, that it won't work out again, okay? Because we definitely have the Fool here, and the Fool talks about, you know, going on a new adventure, and you may not know, right? You may not know how it's going to work out, okay? But just because, you know, it may not have worked out in the past, you know, doesn't mean that you can't try it again. And that's the feeling that I'm getting. I feel like there's some, whether you want to revisit an old job, an old idea, an old business, old, you know, whatever this way is that you're trying to make money, you're going to have to take the risk, okay? And I feel that you're going to be successful this time. I want to see what this hand is on here. What is this, a staircase? I think he's going, gambling. Yeah, you see, it says taking a calculated risk is sometimes necessary in order to advance, right? Have the courage to face the fear of uncertainty. Don't focus on the outcome. The odds are better than you think. So gambling, so you guys feel like you're gambling. You may not have been successful in the past. It says something from the past is coming back, perhaps an old job or an unfinished project. Look to the past to understand the future, a lesson, an experience, or an old skill. You could be earning or receiving money from something you did in the past. Okay, so Spirit is saying reconsider here now. Okay, there's messages here for so many of you. If this is something that you've revisited in the past and it didn't work out, okay, Spirit is saying, hey, try it again. You know, and I see your hesitation. I see why you're in the hangman energy, because you've revisited this before. Okay, but I feel like things are changing though, because the hangman speaks of transition. So I think that if you decide, I'm not telling you to do anything, by the way, you know, but it does say consider a decision. Like, go ahead, you're gonna have to make a decision. You just can't stay in this. You just can't hang on this tree forever. You know, you got ideas exploding out of your head here, okay, with the hangman, okay? You're being, guided to try something again. That's spirit, right? That's God. That's like, your higher consciousness, that, little sun looking like a light thing that's over his head. Like, you just can't hang on to it forever. Okay, so whatever this is that you're thinking about, whatever you're being guided to do, is definitely something from your past. And maybe it is a little risky, but yeah, you're gonna have to make a decision this month when it comes to your finances. Okay, all right, you may have to make some sacrifices as well. Okay, because the hangman requires sacrifices. Okay, some of you may have to let something go from your past as well. All right, so let's see what else we have. A risk from the past. Okay. 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 So we have the Seven of Wands, and we also have the Two of Wands. Let me put my glasses on, okay? All right, so with the Seven of Wands, all right, this isn't going to be easy, all right? This isn't going to be easy, but you got this. That's all I'm going to really say about it, because the Seven of Wands speaks of challenges, all right? But it also speaks of determination as well. All right, so you're gonna have to make some type of decision, and I don't think it's gonna be easy. And the thing is I don't even feel like it's not gonna be physically easy to execute whatever this is that you're trying to do in reference to your finances or your business. I just feel that it's kind of like more like in your head. It's like, oh, I need to make a decision. This is going to be hard, but I don't think it's a hard physical thing to do. I think it's mentally hard for you, because you have to make this decision, right? Two of Wands, this speaks of options, right? You do have options. You have decisions to make. You need to go plan and figure out what this is. You have a lot to think about. All right. And for some of you, this is heavy because it is a gamble. It almost feels like some of you maybe taking a risk with an investment in the past. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe it's here again. You're trying to figure out, what to do with it. I'm not telling you to do it. However, I do feel the energy here. Like, this is very heavy for some of you, to the extent of it's there almost stressful trying to figure out what to do, because the Two of Wands is saying that you have either you do this or you do that. There's a huge decision here with your money. All right, you have consider a decision, and then you have the Two of Wands, which represents decisions. You know what I'm saying? Planning. All right, some of you, this is with someone else. This could be a partnership. Others of you, you may have to travel someplace you've been to, in the past. All right, it's the first stages of something here, whatever this is. So I don't feel like any of you have actually, jump ship, but there's definitely a partnership for somebody you could have dealt with in the past. But you have a decision to make. You're weighing your options right now, is what you're doing, heavily. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. Yeah, okay. Well, the Four of Wands is a really good card, okay, because it does represent success, all right, in whatever it is that you're doing. It also, on a lower scale, some of you could, like I said, be meeting up with somebody from your past. And I'm glad this card showed up, because I do feel like you're gonna hook back up with someone here. You may make the decision to go ahead and do business with someone here. Some of you may have to relocate in order, or to not necessarily relocate, but maybe travel somewhere. There's an opportunity here, probably at someone's wedding. Maybe you're traveling back in the past. Some of you could have some type of reunion with someone here. Maybe they offer you some type of decision. All right. So you could be traveling. I feel travel heavy. I don't know why, but I do. I also feel like Pisces energy as well. So some of you could be traveling back to meet with a Pisces. And you know, like, let me just get one more card, okay? But yeah, I like the Four Wands. It's success, but it's also I'm tapping into like a reunion of some kind. Maybe going back home, meeting up with, you know, a family, a friend. They may offer you some type of um investment idea, even like something maybe even risky for some of you, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, but you could, I don't know, someone from a party, someone from some type of reunion, okay, someone from home, okay, or you may meet someone at a celebration. They may offer you some type of idea, money idea, a risk, an investment. I'm just wondering if you can trust it, that's all. You know, so we got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is somebody who knows how to handle money, and it's also somebody who seems to be pretty fair, okay? I don't know what happened in the past, but I just feel like the Queen of Pentacles knows, you know, how to handle their money. They're pretty knowledgeable about their investments. They have money. They're stable. They're wealthy. I don't know. They're just good with business. There's somebody here that's good with business. We're going to get one more card. Then I'm going to leave this alone. All right. I see where your dilemma is as well. Like, there's someone here that's business-minded. Maybe they're just creative with businesses. Maybe you started something with them in the past, all right? But it says reconsider, so I have to keep that in mind here. So this is somebody who may represent, maybe they're just presenting as this Queen of Pentacles. And maybe they, yeah. See, this is why I wanted to get another card, because I feel like I said, I don't know if you know, if you could trust them. Reconsider. All right, that's kind of my opinion. I'm saying reconsider. All right, whoever you've dealt with this person in the past, maybe they're risky. Maybe they're risky with money. You know, they could be Queen of Pentacles. Maybe they got money to burn, because whoever this is that you're dealing with, they got money. They have business ideas. Like, they have stability, or they're representing this. They don't have to be this. They could be just faking it all. I don't really know. But this is somebody that has like influence, that's stable, secure, you know, or this is just how they representing themselves. But with the three of swords, I don't know. They could be telling you a lot of information. Whenever swords show up, there's definitely communication here. Okay, but whatever this decision is, you're struggling with this. This is a struggle for you. And if it's this much of a struggle, maybe you should reconsider, because the Three of Swords speaks of a struggle. All right. It also talks about heartbreak and not being happy and betrayal as well. So keep that in mind. I don't know. Maybe you should reconsider this financial decision. Okay. Someone's trying to convince you otherwise, right? Because it says say yes to the things you think you can't do. Someone may be trying to convince you otherwise, but I don't know, guys. So I'm gonna leave this here, Taurus. So maybe you should reconsider. Okay, like and subscribe.